Medicare annual enrollment is happening right now, and for some seniors, selecting the right plan on their own can be difficult.
That's why Nunez Medicare offers enrollment support at no cost. Rafael Nunez Jr. joined G with more.
Okay, so you have a very personal connection in terms of helping seniors choose a Medicare plan. Do you mind sharing that?
Absolutely. It happened right around 2008. My dad had a bout with cancer at that point. And he ended up going to disability because he couldn't go back to work. And so after the third time applying, we got disability. So once you get disability, you qualify for Medicare. And so he had to wait till 65 to get his Medicare. He got it earlier on. And so what happens, I thought at that point, not having been into Medicare back then, that it was the end-all be-all. You know what, we're good to go, fantastic. But then lo and behold, coincidentally, right around that time, I took a new job at an insurance company under Medicare. And one of my insurance brokers at the time became a good buddy of mine. And we're talking about my dad's situation. He tells me, you know what, your dad only has Medicare. He's only covered at 80%. He doesn't have coverage for prescriptions, doesn't have coverage for anything else besides the basic medical and hospital coverage. Let me talk to you about how I can help you with this. So he did, and he did a full review of my parents, or my dad's situation, went over his doctors, his medications, his hospitals, and found him a good plan for him. So shortly thereafter, he told me, he's like, you know what, you should consider doing this as for a living. You know what, there are a lot of people, a lot of seniors like your dad and yourself that need help with Medicare. They don't know where to turn to. And so he convinced me, and I started down that path with him. He taught me how that works, how to help seniors, how to give back to the community, and that's how I got to this point.
Oh, I think it makes such a difference that you have a personal experience, that you had a family member go through this. Why is it so important to have a trusted Medicare advisor?
Absolutely. It's mostly because if you have a good Medicare advisor, they know the lay of the land. And what I mean by that is that they'll know which hospitals work with which insurance plans, which is very important, especially nowadays. You have hospitals that are going in and out of networks, and next thing you know, you have a good plan, and your doctor's no longer in that plan. You gotta figure that out. So a good advisor is going to help you with that. They're also going to help you take a look at the entire picture. So they'll look at your medications, at your hospitals, at your doctors, and make sure that you have the best plan for you all the way around. And thirdly, there's no cost. So when you don't have a cost to talk to somebody like me, it's a win-win all the way around.
I mean, it's complicated, you know, even when you're not dealing with Medicare, just making your appointments and dealing with insurance. So I can only imagine at this level. And there are some important dates that people have to remember, right?
Correct. Well, we're literally in the midst of what's called the annual election period for Medicare and seniors. So that goes every year from October 15th to December 7th. Now, I do tell seniors not to fret if they miss the deadline, because there are what are called special enrollment periods throughout the year where if you move or if you go in and out of Medicaid, if there's a certain natural disaster in your area, that they open up opportunities to enroll in plans during the year as well.
Yeah, but you don't want to miss the date if you can help it.
If you can help it, correct.
Okay, and what is that date again?
December 7th.
Okay, and here's the thing. What if someone's watching right now and they're like, oh my goodness, I've already, picked a plan, but I didn't talk to a trusted Medicare advisor. What sort of recourse do they have?
So you can always call me to get a second opinion. And I think it's always when you have that inkling where you're not sure what you're in, you're not sure what you have. You may have called an 800 number on TV. They tell you, call now, call every day, all day, every day. And they don't explain anything to you. They don't go over your doctors with you. As a senior, you know yourself the best. And if you have a doubt about what you have, then it doesn't hurt to call me. Cost you nothing. And we'll go over your entire scope of your case and then go from there.
I think you mentioned this a couple of times, but it really doesn't cost anything?
It does not. And that's the other thing I tell seniors. It's like if you come across an advisor that wants to charge you a donation, run as fast as you can away from that person, because that is illegal. So it doesn't cost you anything to talk to somebody like myself.
I'm so glad that your father inspired you to take this career up.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Incredible. Well, thanks so much for giving back and being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
For more information, just head to RafaelNunezJr.com. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen.